All right, brand new trailer, an absolute blast. We've got Menendez speaking here.
Menendez already caused enough suffering.
Okay, we're getting some campaign stuff, which looks good. That's potentially end game that we're seeing there. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Here we've got multiplayer. We played on that map. I think that was showing the 20v20 mode there with the paragliding. Oh, that is a sick shot. 18 maps. Getting a look at some of these that we didn't get in the beta. There's Raid, I think. That looks really good. Zombies, here we go. Massive zombies experience. We're breaking this down. Wonder vehicle shenanigans. Okay, we've got this area. Melee Macchiato perk. Richtoff in there. There seems to be some sort of airstrikes going on the map. I'm going to need to have another look at that and break that down. But the campaign, I'm actually really hyped for this. Let's see what new we're getting here. Ultra-wide monitor support. Ooh, little grapple hook action there. Okay, some ultra-wide action there.
They have no idea who they're doing.
Oh, show me more Menendez. Come on. The biggest Black Ops ever. Hey, we got our zombies crew there.
Escaping me.
Okay, we need to take a look at that. What the heck's going on there? Okay, let's break this trailer down bit by bit. So I'm really excited at the campaign stuff we saw. There was a few zombies bits in there as well that also got my attention. But what we're seeing here is, of course, the Avalon map that's part of the end game 32v32 mode that's unlocked at the end of campaign. We can see a few shots here of what I believe are the guild AI. That could potentially even be like an objective mission that we're seeing here. There really hasn't been much said about this mode yet, and I'm sure we get to see more glimpses. But if you want to see a full video on it, because it's replaced Outbreak for Black Ops 7 Zombies, click this card above your screen. But let's go a bit further on into this trailer, because there was some really juicy stuff in here. So we've got multiplayer, which of course we understand, we've seen this before. I believe this is also the 20 versus 20 mode that's going to be coming to multiplayer. I got to play this early at Treyarch a good few months ago, but we didn't get to see it in the beta. This is a completely new map we haven't seen before, and this shot, oh my god, this shot is amazing. So let's see if we can break down all the maps. So I think this is a map we haven't seen before. This is a snow map. Then it goes on to a Japanese themed map, which I thought was Raid. It might be Raid, but I don't think it's Raid. Could be something else. And we've got this map from the beta. Then we've got this map, Toshin, also from the beta. We've got Homestead, a brand new map. Then we've also got this, which is completely new. 18 signature maps, which is huge for a launch. This is a new map. This is Express. And this is Hijacked. And that is such a beautiful shot, may I add. So clean. Get to see some more maps here. I thought this was Raid, but I don't think it is. This is also a new map. But then we get into zombies. So we've got Janus Towers Plaza as the sign, which means this is from the spawn driving back into it. There's something I wanted to point out that was really interesting. So we get to see the Wonder Vehicle upgrade. So we get to see the Margwa heads or the Abomination heads, the Wonder Waffle turret. But one of the zombies that swipes here, look at the design of it. Just under my head, you see it's got horns on it that looks so sick. And what seems really subtle is that we get to see a combination of our new versions of these characters and our Black Ops 6 crew. So we've got Gray there, whilst we have, I believe it could be Maya or maybe Dempsey driving with Takio up top, which is really cool. Then if we go through here, we get to see Maya, so that's really cool. This is an area that we got to see from the early gameplay I've shown off before. We've got Maya, Nikolai. This is a really cool shot as well, just one full sort of continuous shot. We'll be going inside of this house, and we've got Richtoff in that does a side dolphin dive off there where we see the Melee Macchiato perk, and boom, got the PhD slam, and look at Richtoff in there. Brilliant. And then what I pointed out when we first watched it, which is really interesting, is let's just break this down and see what we can see. So this is the Zaya Cosmodrome, an area that we have not seen publicly revealed yet in gameplay. It's obviously got the rocket launch from Ascension. We see a horde of zombies there where they're being shot with the Wonder Waff. So we get to see how that affects the zombies, because we've seen it being shot, but not actually affecting zombies. So we can see a huge horde where it sort of chains them up as you would expect with a Wonder Waff, but it's more like a sort of controlled lightning explosion, which then chains them. You can see the elemental pop perk machine there. You can see what I mean. There's some sort of asteroids falling down. I don't quite know. This doesn't seem like it's a kill streak. If it is, it's very well placed for a trailer for added spectacle, but it just seems a bit suspicious. There's two sort of explosions that drop there. Then we have more explosions dropping through the main part of the map. We can see that as the vehicle's driving through, there's a player up top with a pack-a-punch weapon with that really bright blue camo. There's a whole horde of zombies at the front that are being affected by fireworks, where we get to see sort of greens and purples there, which is really interesting. Then it goes into co-op campaign, which we have not seen before yet. This is really cool stuff. So this first scene looks cool. It's like almost like hijacked in a way. Rumors are saying that the campaign isn't very good. At least that's what the leakers are saying. But I don't know. From what I'm seeing, it looks really, really dang good so far. We get to see some cutscenes of Emma Kagan. We get to see some of the kill streaks there. So this ultra-wide monitor support, I think, also shows a mission where we get to deploy into Avalon. There's some linear, some that are also a bit more open-ended. And we can see a battle hook there onto vehicles, which looks really cool. That's a really cool shot. Then we've got Ricochet. That's still Avalon. And this is what I wanted to focus on, because this is sick. So look, here we have Menendez, and then we get another shot, and that is aura. That is aura Menendez there. We get to see our characters on the MP map, which might be also be a campaign map here. That's from a cutscene. But then the biggest Black Ops ever. So we get to see some actual CGI cutscene there from the campaign, and the quality of that looks beautiful. And then this shot of zombies I love as well, because one, keyframed really well, but also it has Weaver and Carver along with Dempsey. So we're getting some BO6 crew love, being chased by a bear, and he looks a bit weird. That bear looks a bit fuzzy, but clearly they're running away from it. And in terms of where they are, potentially, yeah, so this is an area in the fog called the Lost Cabins. Let me get this shot as well. Is this multiplayer or is this campaign? I can't tell, but this is a very quick shot. S1 storage. That looks really cool. Very, very quick. So I don't even know what that is. Probably campaign, but could be end game as well. And then we get this shot. There is no escaping me. And this is like a 1v1 here of David Mason and Menendez, which is sick. So if we sort of break this down, we can see it sort of flashes between different moments where 1 minute they're standing out in what I believe is the Time and Fate sort of garden area from BO2, having like a one-on-one fight. And then suddenly the background changes. And as he grabs him, we can see that it's just a figment of his imagination. I think what this trailer does also do well is show that, yeah, Menendez doesn't actually exist, at least in the physical world. This is clearly some sort of fight that David is having within his own mind, because he doesn't actually exist, therefore transforming there with the blood. As we've seen in the reveal trailer, when this blood sort of appears, it's almost like this hypnotic fluid that causes everyone to go into this paranoid state. So it seems almost like David Mason is using it against Menendez here, but in his own head, which is cool. We get the ending here of November 14th, but interesting at the bottom, it says Activision Publishing Inc. and Forbes Media LLC. Maybe they helped make the trailer, which is really interesting. Then we get a look at the Vault Edition bonuses, where we get a new look for all of that stuff. And then following on from the trailer, we have a new blog that talks about the preload and system requirements and everything for PC. So there is over 800 different options for PC to customize graphics, gameplay, input devices, and more. We also have the preload times, which is really important because this confirms no early access. The preload will be out on November 10th for all platforms, and the launch of the game will start on November 13th at midnight local to your country. So it says 3 a.m. Pacific time, meaning for those that live in New Zealand, that will be midnight in New Zealand. But for those that live on the West Coast, they are 21 hours behind. So depending on where you live, and for me, the UK, that means the game will be available at 11 a.m. if you use the New Zealand trick. So that's officially when it comes out. But yeah, it will be out midnight local to your country on console. But for Battle.net and Steam, it comes out at a blanket time of 9 p.m. Pacific time on November 13th. So for the UK, that will be about 5 a.m. So if you're on PC, you won't be able to play it early unless you do the Xbox Game Pass and Xbox trick of changing your region in your settings and Windows settings. And again, just so there was any confusion, here is the rollout of exactly when the game will be available on PC. So if you see your country in this graphic, that will tell you exactly when it's coming out, where you are, so you know exactly when you can play for those that are on PC. And then finally here we have the system requirements. So if you want to play it at competitive or 4K Ultra, then you need a 4080 or a 5070 as sort of like the minimum. But you can see that this all of the storage, so it'll be about 116 gigabytes in order to install the game, which is not as big a download as I actually expected. And what's quite surprising is that they've optimized the game to run on Windows-based handhelds such as the ROG Xbox Ally X and the ROG Ally, which is really cool, which means that they've actually tailored the experience so that it will have enhanced UI legibility with everything scaled properly for the smaller displays and deliver smooth performance without sacrificing image quality with native control support as well. So that's really, really cool. Overall, a really cool trailer and some pretty cool marketing for Black Ops 7 ahead of the launch next Thursday. I'm sure there'll be a ton more stuff dropping in the next days on zombies, multiplayer campaign, endgame. So I'll be covering it here on the channel. Make sure to subscribe with the bell tick so you don't miss out on any uploads. But again, if you want to check out everything we know about the replacement to Outbreak Zombies, which is the new 32-player endgame mode, then click this video that's appearing as a big box on your screen right now.